Okay, good evening. Welcome everyone to the May 7th, 2019 Board of Education meeting. I would like to officially call this meeting to order. And we will begin with a moment of silence in honor of the victims of the UNC Charlotte shooting last week. We will have a moment of silence for 49 seconds. And I would like for everyone to remember Ellis Reed Parlier and Riley Carl Howell. I will now turn the invocation over to
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm just going to speak loudly since there are technical difficulties. For tonight's invocation, our chaplain, the Reverend Vic Weaver.
Pray with me, please. Father God, we thank you so much for the many blessings that you have given us. Father, our hearts are saddened about the shooting that happened in Charlotte and these two young lives that were lost. And Father, we ask that you just be with those families in a special way tonight and just continue in the days to come to be able to lead them into the right way that they need to go to honor those two young lives. Father, we thank you for the new friends that we have just had the chance to meet tonight. Father God, we thank you for what you're doing in our midst. We ask that you just completely give us your wisdom so that we may go about the task that we have been given in a manner that will bring you glory and that will show integrity and character. Father, we thank you and ask now that you would just keep our students, our faculty, and our staff safe in the days to come. And we thank you and ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Weaver. That brings us to our Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please stand. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you very much. If all the board members would please join me at the front, I'm going to, okay. Okay, please have a seat.
Changes, Dr. Houlihan?
Yes, I'd like to ask the chair to remove on 10D, the health sciences expansion. We will plan to continue to work on this proposal and possibly return that back to the board in June.
I would like to change 10U, instead of Forest Hills and Prospect bid, should be aerial lift purchase.
And Madam Chair, I have one change, pulling off item G, Navion's renewal to wherever your pleasure.
Pulling it off the agenda?
And pulling it off the consent agenda
Oh, okay.
to be discussed.
Okay.
And
Dr.
Ms.
Breedlove will be handling that.
And then on number 13, oh, do you want to add that first?
Now, was yours being pulled off or?
No, we are changing U where it says Forest Hills and Prospect bids. We're crossing off Forest Hills and Prospect bids and making it aerial lift purchase instead.
Okay.
We didn't get the bids
Okay.
in, so. And then Gary wants to add somewhere the
Naviance.
Naviance renewal. And then on number 13, I want to add Board of Education's 2019-20 proposed amended budget. Number 13. I'm sorry. Board of Education's 2019-20 proposed amended budget. We just got it on our table was a amendment to the budget that looks like this that we discussed earlier.
Are there any other changes to the agenda?
I'll be glad to go 13A with the Navion's renewal if that's the pleasure of the chair.
So we'll go after 12.
That's fine.
That's fine. You can go before
12.
13, yeah.
12A then.
Okay,
Okay,
and that's it.
I'll accept a motion for the amended agenda.
So moved.
Second,
All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Aye. Okay. Now, board members, we will have the John H. Crowder Service Award. If you will please join me at the front.
Good evening. The late John H. Crowder spent more than 30 years serving the children of Union County. As a living tribute to him and his legacy, the Union County Board of Education awards the John H. Crowder Service Award every month to an outstanding high school student who is making a difference in their school and community. Students who receive this award are not only academically successful, but also have an established history of community service. Tonight, we award the John H. Crowder Service Award to a very special student from Sun Valley High School. Manav Parikh, please come forward, and you're here. Manav has a long history of initiating and coordinating service projects in his community and abroad. In addition to collecting more than 1,000 books to donate to Waiga Primary School in Kenya, he also collected books for the UCPS mobile book bus, helped pack shoeboxes for Operation Christmas Child, raised money for Relay for Life to support breast cancer research, and operated a food drive for a local homeless shelter. Additionally, through his leadership in his school's student council organization, Manav helped spearhead the children's Christmas party for 4 years. Through this effort, $20,000 in donations have been raised annually to provide clothes and other items to as many as 20 local families in need. In addition to being the co-founder of the Empower to Educate nonprofit, an organization that supports the education of children, Manav has also completed a 2-year apprenticeship at Discovery Play Science, where he taught children at the museum's hands-on exhibits. He also lends his time to local animal shelters, often assisting with cleaning cages and taking care of animals. Manav epitomizes leadership both at school and his community, and the Board of Education is very proud to recognize him as the May recipient of the John H. Crowder Service Award. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Good evening. The Union County Public Schools Employee of the Month Award recognizes employees in non-teacher, non-certified positions. It was created to honor those who have exemplary work and performance, those who promote positive morale, or possibly those who demonstrate initiatives and creativity that improve the operating efficiency of their department or the district. Individuals can be nominated based on their performance, their customer service, or an individual incident which merits commendation. Our May recipient is Shauna Stegall, who is part of the school nutrition services team at Marvin Ridge Middle School. Director Denise Lamar will now come forward and recognize Shauna for her accomplishments.
As the main dish cook at Marvin Ridge Middle, Shauna Stegall has had a positive impact not only on the cafeteria but throughout the entire school. A highly successful cafeteria is dependent on the people who serve there, and Shauna has been an instrument in the double-digit increase in sales of lunch participation at the middle school. In the kitchen, Shauna is a sound leader and mentor and has a great working relationship with her colleagues. Throughout the school, she has a smile on her face when interacting with the students and staff. Shauna is a dedicated, hardworking individual who never grows tired of improving her food or her service. She exhibits boldness, energy, and enthusiasm for her job and has a deep passion for the students and staff members' well-being. I will now read the Employee of the Month proclamation from the Board of Education and Dr. Houlihan. Whereas the Union County Board of Education values hard work in each employee within the district, whereas performance is an essential part of the district's operation, whereas Shauna Stegall exemplifies the performance, dedication, and teamwork essential for the success of the district and its students. Now, therefore, we, the Board of Education of Union County Public Schools, and Dr. Andrew G. Houlihan, Superintendent, hereby proclaim Shauna Stegall as Employee of the Month for the month of May 2019.
Every year at its annual Teacher of the Year banquet, Union County Public Schools recognizes a teacher who is not only dedicated and capable of inspiring students of all backgrounds, but also establishes an environment that is conducive to the pursuit and achievement of academic excellence. Please join me in congratulating Monroe High English teacher Jonathan Harbin, who has been named the 2019-2020 UCPS Teacher of the Year. Yes. Stay right here. I got to brag on you a little bit. After working as an English teacher at Sun Valley High, Mr. Harbin joined Monroe High in 2005, where he taught English, served as the English department chairperson, mentored beginning teachers, and worked with summer enrichment programs. As a master teacher at his school, he also coaches and mentors fellow teachers and helps them share and implement best practices. In his classroom, Harbin says that he strives to develop a bond with students every day. This connection is critical as it also sets the foundation for him to encourage and push his students to reach the highest standards that he sets for them. Congratulations, Mr. Harbin. The Beginning Teacher of the Year program recognizes new teachers in their first 3 years of employment who demonstrate excellence in the classroom. This is the second time UCPS has honored beginning teachers, and I am proud to recognize Weddington High School chemistry teacher, Dr. Ben Twolde, who has been named the 2019-2020 UCPS Beginning Teacher of the Year. Congratulations. Prior to joining UCPS, Dr. Twolde worked in the pharmaceutical industry for more than 20 years. As a first-year lateral entry teacher, Dr. Twolde goes above and beyond to ensure success for his students, seeks professional development opportunities, and find ways to increase rigor and student engagement in the classroom. In addition to spending countless hours before school, after school, and on phone conferences supporting learning for his students, he regularly contacts families and students to share success stories and identify ways to help students through classroom challenges, all of which has helped him make critical connections with students. Congratulations, Dr. Twolde.
Good evening. Tonight, I am pleased to present Officer Kendall Acoth. He is the Union County Public Schools 2018-2019 School Resource Officer of the Year. His Lieutenant Willie Kilgo and Sergeant Monique Holt are here tonight with him. What a great guy he is. I've known him since he was a baby. I knew his dad years ago. So a great family. So Officer Acoth received this award because of the great relationships he has established with students at Monroe Middle School and Benton Heights Elementary School. Students and staff, as well as his willingness to always go above and beyond what is expected of him in the role as an SRO. In addition to hosting local basketball events that brought police officers and children in the community, it brought them together. Officer Acoth also participates in the Police Advocating for Student Success program and regularly visits recreation centers to play basketball with students on his own time. Pretty good stuff. Basketball's great. Officer Acoth says his greatest accomplishments are the relationships he has developed with Monroe Middle students, as they have made him both a better person and a better officer. Congratulations, Officer Acoth. Thank you, sir.
Please join me in congratulating Benton Heights Elementary School of the Arts teacher Elsie Mafuka, who was recently named the Charlotte Ballet's North Carolina Dance Educator of the Year. Ms. Mafuka was recently recognized at the Charlotte Ballet Salute of Educators event. Was praised for demonstrating excellence in teaching, engaging students in dance, adopting innovative strategies for teaching dance, and actively pursuing artistic and professional development. She was also recognized for her work in connecting schools, families, and community resources by involving students in trips, performances, and events. Once again, congratulations, Ms. Mafuka. Thank you. Board members, this concludes our recognitions. Thank you.
Okay, we will now have public comments. 30 minutes has been allotted for public comments. Community members wishing to speak during public comments should state their name, address, and phone number prior to making other comments. The board will not hear in open session complaints about the performance of school personnel, personnel issues, or confidential student issues. Individuals may address the board for a maximum of 3 minutes. Any person who is an appointed representative for a group may address the board for a maximum of 5 minutes. Should a community member wish to seek information or share items that may not be shared during public comments, our staff are available to address your concerns or provide information. Dr. Chris Barnes, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Dr. Brad Breedlove, Chief Academic Officer, and Jared McCraw, Assistant Superintendent of Student Services, are here to assist. We will now hear from Claudia Sandoval.
Thank you to the board and superintendent for your time today. My name is Claudia Sandoval. I live at 202 Abbotsbury Court, Waxhaw, North Carolina, and my phone number is 704-993-6854. I just wanted to give some positive heartfelt thanks to UCPS for recognizing the mental health needs of our students and asking for more counselors in the high schools for this year's budget. I know mentioned to some of you the experiences of my own kids. I have twin girls who are in high school, they're sophomores, as well as young son who's in kindergarten. And my girls, actually, the counselors, I said this before, are more functioning as schedulers instead of helping with issues that the kids are facing in classes. And I came to find out like a month or two ago that one of my girls actually never met her counselor. That she, during the sessions when they were even scheduling for courses, was meeting with somebody else, and she had never met her before until there was an actual incident that my daughter helped out a friend, and I was very proud of her. Ooh. Hello. Okay. I was very proud of her when she said something to help out a friend. But that is not acceptable, and the schools need help. So I appreciate that. With suicide now being the second leading cause of death among our young people from ages 10 to 24, should be a priority of all school systems around this country, as well as the country itself. But I also wanted to applaud UCPS for partnering with the Monarch and Union County System of Care Community, the collaborative event for the screening of suicide, the ripple effect, and the discussion panel that happened afterwards. I really learned a lot, heard a lot of personal stories and challenges that the community is going through. And I appreciate that UCPS was there to listen to the community. And I hope to see more parent forums in the future. So thank you very much.
We will now have Jennifer Comer.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Comer. I live at 9712 Alma Blount Boulevard in Charlotte, North Carolina, 28277. And my phone number is 704-998-1674. I'm an employee of Union County Public Schools. I have been for the last 13 years. I am a teacher at Cuthbertson High School. I also happen to know Claudia, and I'm also here to speak about getting counselors into the schools. I'm on the ground and in the trenches, as it were, with adolescents on a daily basis, and I feel like we're in a desperate need for additional counselors. They don't have the opportunity to actual counsel. This was driven home to me just last week when I had an email from a parent who said, please call me. It was at 6 o'clock in the morning, which I waited till 7 to call before I went to school, and one of my students, without any warning at all, had tried to take her own life. And so I feel like I have more students now than I ever have before. This year, I have 9 students with diagnosed generalized anxiety disorder and 4 with diagnosed depression that have plans. So it's very important and it's crucial that we try to get the funding for additional counselors and mental health professionals in our schools. And I appreciate anything you can do to get the funding to do that. And I want to thank you very much.
We will now have Maria Rohrabacher.
My name is Maria Rohrabacher, and I live at 2338 Wedgewood Drive in Weddington. My phone number is 704-576-4542. I have come before the school board several times now as a teacher from Rockrest Elementary School to raise issues regarding the EPIC grant and the exclusion of highly impactful teachers. These concerns sadly have fallen on deaf ears. As you're aware, the final decision regarding this has been made, and the decision was not to make any adjustments to the grant or to seek out any solutions outside the grant. But you already know my perspective as a teacher regarding this subject, so I'm not here today to speak as a teacher. Today, I'm here to speak as a parent of 3 children in Union County Public Schools, as a citizen, and as a voter. As a parent, a citizen, and voter, I'm bothered and disturbed that the input of highly effective teachers and schools would be ignored and undermined in this way, the way that's been demonstrated through the EPIC grant issue. As a reminder to those who don't know, 7 years ago, Rockrest Elementary School was one of the poorest performing schools, not just in the county, but in the state. At Rockrest, the majority of students are English as a second language learners. 100% of our students receive free and reduced lunch. And now for the past 2 years, we have received a B rating. Last year, or last October, Dennis Rape said that Rockrest had a secret formula, but it's not secret. It's only secret because no one has been listening or seeking out how Rockrest works. Everyone here has been invited to visit our school, but no one has come. Not the board members, the head of human resources, the superintendent, not to come and investigate what's happening there and to hear our perspectives. As a parent and as a citizen and as a voter, I find this very concerning. And if this is a reflection of how decisions are made at the district level, then it's got me thinking that maybe I need to be as active as a citizen as I have been as a teacher. Maybe I need to run for school board so that I can be one who stands up for teachers and listens and advocates for schools and teachers. Thank you.
We will now hear from Linda Davis and Kim Hargett. And they are coming as a group, as a team.
Hello, my name is Linda Davis. I stay at 7015 Winsong Way in Wingate, North Carolina. My telephone number is 704-290-6744. I am a teacher at Marshfield Elementary.
Kim Hargett, 7817 White Store Road, which is actually the area from which Mr. Crowder grew up. So it's always really special to see who's the recipient every time. So for that, my number is 704-617-1812.
Hello. On behalf of the Union County NCAE, I would like to say good afternoon to the school board members, Dr. Houlihan, and the Madam Chair. And with NCAE and the March on May 1st, I would like to thank Union County for supporting us. There's a lot of school systems they did not stand with their teachers. And I would like to thank personally Dr. Houlihan, Dr. Burns, and the whole Union County administration. Thank you. We felt highly supported. And it was just bragging on my school. Union County set the standards high for everyone there. No one else's school board members, no one else's administrative team supported them as much as ours did. And I would like to thank you on behalf of Union County NCAE.
So here's what, and once again, we are so appreciative because we feel like our cause is your cause and your cause is our cause. Certainly, public education, foundationally, it is the key, we believe, to the American dream. And we started with pledging allegiance, liberty and justice for all. And certainly, I don't know of another entity that actually represents that quite as well as public education, because in our public schools, we say that everybody deserves a chance. And we appreciate so much Dr. Barnes reaching out to us and sitting down, and Dr. Breedlove, yes, for reaching out. And we had great discussions prior to May 1st. And what we had recommended that we felt would be the most strategic in pushing the agenda forward was to be wider rather than deeper. And what we mean by that was we really wanted every school to be represented. And we would like to, we are still trying to figure out exactly how many schools sent someone, but we do want to express our gratitude for every school that sent representatives to Raleigh. And we did want to let you know that we went to every one of our representatives. And we're gonna, if we may approach the bench, we're gonna give you a survey that we gave each one of our 5 state level representatives. And in the state of North Carolina, it has always been the flag that we've stuck in the ground, that public education is so important that it is mainly a function of the state. And so that's why, and our speakers that have spoken before, really where we need to get the funding is at the state level. About 10 years ago, we went through it was a tough time here in this county. Our school board and our county commission, they were at odds. And it was mainly because our teacher assistant funding got cut about 34%. And it was just this awful situation. So we really do appreciate you partnering with us, and so that we can get, so that we can get ahead of that happening again. And by the way, we would like to say that the teacher assistant funding still has not gotten back up to that level. And if you want to talk about key players, especially at the elementary level, that would be something that we would strongly recommend, pushing for more teacher assistants. While there may not be crying in baseball, there actually is some crying at the elementary level. And I'm going to tell you, our number one go-to people when somebody's crying is our TAs. They're the huggers and the ones that really sit down beside the kids and help them along. But thank you once again. We do appreciate the partnership, and we look forward to continuing and following up with this. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes public comments. And that brings us to the approval of open session meeting minutes for April 2nd and April 9th.
I move that we approve the open session meeting minutes from April 2nd and April 9th.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that brings us to the amended consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the amended consent agenda.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we will now have the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So let me begin this evening. We have a very special member of the board that I'd like to recognize and wish her a very big happy birthday to Miss Christina Helms. So happy birthday, and glad you get the gift of a school board meeting tonight. This week, UCPS and school districts across the country are celebrating and honoring our staff members, our teachers, and our nurses. And I want to take a big moment to thank all of our employees for being dedicated to our students and for making our school district the best in the state of North Carolina. Each of you are awesome. We appreciate you. Today, I spent the majority of the day with our team out visiting schools. We're going to continue that this week. We also have many tributes on social media throughout the school system. So to all of our teachers and staff members, thank you for what you do. You know it's the end of the school year when you hear pomp and circumstance. Our first 2019 graduation is this Thursday. 68 Union County early college seniors will receive their diplomas. I want to say congratulations to our UCEC grads. We are also looking forward to our additional graduations later this month and in June. I want to give a big shout out tonight to the Career Readiness Department for holding a banquet to honor our students who are pursuing careers in HVAC, carpentry, electrical trades, masonry, welding, etc. The department partnered with members of our local businesses for the event. We had students actually, kind of similar to our academic signing day, was to see the videos of these kids where they're actually signing on the dotted line saying, I'm taking a full-time job making this amount of money beginning after high school. It was an amazing thing. So to Brian Davis and Robert Filter, thank you for what you're doing. It's a phenomenal example of how we're partnering with businesses and industry across Union County. And finally, I'd like to offer my sincere condolences to the Parlier family during this extremely difficult time. A week ago tonight, our entire community was rocked by the awful tragedy at UNCC. We want the family to know that we are here to support them. When we lose any members of our UCPS family, it hurts us all. And again, our condolences from our entire team, and as you've heard from our board, to that family this evening. Board members, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Houlihan. We will turn it over to Dr. Brad Breedlove for the Ad Tech Academy at East Union Middle School.
And I'll kick this off, Madam Chair. So we're pleased tonight to bring you another innovative partnership concept for review and a vote tonight. This is a new academy that we are referring to as an AT STEM Academy. The AT stands for Agricultural Technology STEM Academy, powered by Wingate University. This is a first of its kind innovative model that we're looking to begin next fall at East Union Middle School. This partnership is going to really help our students really focus on the innovative agricultural technology fields, much of which our students at East Union are already learning a lot about through various ag courses and other things. But really, this partnership solidifies yet again the power behind Wingate University as a community resource to help us really explore other partnerships. One of those experiences that we're looking at is partnering with another foundation called the Aldrin Family Foundation. The word Aldrin might sound familiar. That is Buzz Aldrin. His family has started this foundation, and his grandson has visited our school system several times already. Not his grandson, his son, several times this year. And that is just one example. That foundation is known for the Mars Mapping Project, where they go into schools and put giant maps of Mars in gymnasiums and on auditorium stages, and actually have the developers of the original Mars rovers on site to talk to kids about life on Mars, sustainability. This is kind of project-based learning 101, and it's really going to give our kids the experience that they've never had before in terms of curriculum and exposure to innovative coursework. I'm going to turn it over to Brad and Casey in just a minute. You've got a copy of the proposal. This went to the curriculum committee, came out of that committee with a unanimous vote. We're really excited about this. Mr. Vint Tillison with Wingate is here tonight to make comment. But Brad and Casey, I'll turn it over to you. And again, my hat's off to our team, to our administrators at the school, and to our teachers. So Dr. Breedlove and Casey.
Sure. And this Ag Tech Academy is very similar to the Health Science Academy at Monroe Middle School. That's the model that this was sort of built by, and students would be entering sixth grade at East Union Middle School and progressing each year through sixth, seventh, and eighth, taking a different course or course selection within this Ag Tech Academy. And for example, exploring Ag Tech, STEM, artificial intelligence, agricultural sustainability, and biotechnology in their eighth grade year, similar to the health science biotech, but obviously partnering, that could be a course in which would partner with Health Science Academy at Monroe Middle School, and some of the work that they're doing. I think in our curriculum committee, Casey talked about one of the example is allergen-free foods. Not only do you have the production of that, but you also have that application in the health science field as well. Of course, you have the proposal in front of you, which spells it out. But I do want to recognize Mr. Tilson, Vint Tilson from Wingate University, because this is all about partnerships. And Wingate is our number one partner in this venture for Union County Public Schools. So, Mr. Tilson, if you'd like to say a few words about Wingate University and the program.
Thank you for this opportunity. As a point of privilege, I just would like to say that I was born and raised in Wilmington in New Hanover County, where my father was a teacher and coach for 45 years in the New Hanover County Public Schools. And what always touched my heart, even up until the year before he died, folks would come up to Daddy and they would sort of look at him from the side and spend some time staring at him. And they would say, "I think you look like Charlie Tilson." And Charlie Tilson was my baseball coach 60, 70 years ago. And they would go on to say, "You really changed my life because you taught me discipline, a lot of values through those athletic contests and practices. And I want to thank you." So that always touched my heart. We're committed to partnerships at Wingate. We're committed to public education. We're delighted to be partners with all of you. And we've already identified faculty who will work with these particular emphases and do so very well in partnership with Union County Public Schools. And I'm going to tell you something today that very few people know. We just announced it this week, somewhat quietly, internally, but we are establishing the Center for the Collaborative for the Common Good. We announced this center this past week, and we have begun the search for the director. It probably will be the only major position that we begin at Wingate this summer, and it just will be a position that reinforces our commitment to every meaningful partnership that we can find. And Union County Public Schools is certainly at the top of the list. So thank all of you for the work you're doing and for letting us work with you so well. Thank you.
Thank you, Vent. We'll open it up for questions.
Good question. So 6th, 7th, 8th grade, there's different, are those part of the wheel?
Yes, they would be part of the wheel for all students. So all students would.
6-week
Take those.
wheel, 9-week wheel, what, how much wheel? Semester
I do
wheel?
believe that Mr. Sanders is here and has thought about that. So, Mr. Sanders, would you like to answer that question? Okay. So let's go right to the person in charge at the school.
Good evening. We have thought about it, and our 6th graders will have that as part of the wheel, which we already have in place. So every 6th grader will get the opportunity to experience the coursework over a six-week period.
6-week, okay. What about 7th and 8th?
So 7th and 8th graders, they will continue. Currently, we have ag classes for 7th and 8th grade that are semester-based. So they will continue with the semester-based courses to finish out 7th and 8th grade. And then 6th graders, the following year, will then move to 7th grade with the semester base. So they wouldn't get part of the new revamped ag, but they will continue in ag classes.
Are these required classes or electives?
They're all electives.
So do they pick the elective, or is it part of the wheel that so 6th graders traditionally get 6 classes on a wheel and they take all 6 of them. Is that what's going to be happening?
Yes, that will continue
And
with
then
6th grade.
7th and 8th grade, do they pick that semester long, or are they each given that?
They will get to select the ag course based on other classes that they find of interest. So they'll, of course, have physical education, but then kids will also have the opportunity to continue if you're in band and that's one of your focus areas. So we're trying to make sure that while we're adding courses, that we don't take away from things that the kids also find engaging in other areas as well.
Okay, so it will be a choice.
Yes.
Okay, so it will, okay.
Board, do you have any other questions? Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, it is my honor to make a motion to implement the Ag Tech Academy at East Union Middle School for the fall of the 2019 school year. This did pass unanimously through Curriculum Committee, so it does not require a second.
Okay, I believe Dr. Houlihan would like to make one more comment.
I just wanted to make one more comment. The board has heard me say this, as has staff, that the reason that you have successful outcomes in a lot of different new innovative ideas is because you have an owner and a champion. And I just want to thank Casey Remmer for your hard work on this. This has been kind of her brainchild. She has worked very hard with Wingate and others. So Casey, I just want to say thank you. And of course, the school administration who have done carried this out as well. But thank you, Casey, for your leadership.
Okay. We have a motion that does not require a second. So all those in favor say aye. 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 Okay. Unanimous. Thank you so much. And that will bring us to the Naviance renewal. Mr. Sides.
We'll keep Dr. Breedlove up here. Just a little background. This was proposed for discussion and a motion at the last curriculum committee meeting, and Dr. Breedlove did not feel comfortable with the manner the billing was submitted by the vendor, by Naviance.
So it was pulled from our agenda temporarily. It was not any negative thought on Naviance. It was just we didn't feel we had the documentation in order. Dr. Breedlove since feels very comfortable, as I'm sure he will explain, with the documentation and invoicing that was supplied. And to be expeditious about this item, we decided to bring it before the board rather than through the committee and then back to the board again. Dr. Breedlove, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, sir. And there are Naviance now, I think of 2 years ago, I stood before you and first discussed the Naviance and really what it was. And at this point, nothing is being proposed new for Naviance. And we will continue to use that as a 6 through 12 platform for college and career readiness. This is the platform that we have used and will continue to use. The reason, as Mr. Side said about pulling it off, because the invoice was a mess. It was way too much. It was broken out by line item. And when you talk about a school district our size by line item, I think it was about 8 pages long of every single school. And I got confused looking at it. So I had to ask Mr. Filter and Jessica Garner to go back with them and let's get this in a recognizable format. What you have in front of you, though, is really an invoice for what it costs per school year, and then an invoice for 2 additional months within Union County Public Schools, because what we're trying to do with all of our programming and billing is get to an August 1 billing date, rather than having all of our programs that we use throughout our schools every month, just keeping up with what's due and what's not due. So we're really working with our vendors, and Naviance is one of those vendors. And so what we are doing is getting us to an August 1 deadline. So not only paying for the year, which is due right now, but adding additional months to get us to the August 1st deadline. And so I guess at this point, are there any questions?
If there are no questions, I will make the motion that we approve the contract with Naviance through July 2020. Did I catch that right? Through the end of
Yes, through July.
2020?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Second.
Thank you.
Okay, and that brings us to the Board of Education's 2019-2020 amended proposed budget.
So the budget has not changed very much since our work session and our joint meeting with the county. We did add 1 position, a director of student support services, to the budget, but it didn't change the overall budget. This year, some people had spoke about counselors. We were adding 9 guidance counselors to the high schools, except for CADA and UCEC, a lead middle school counselor, a director of student support services that I just talked about, a CCP counselor liaison at SPCC, and some ROTC program supports. We're doing salary increases as proposed by the state. So we have local employees that are on local budgets, not on state, and we have to pass through those increases. And compensation market adjustments for teacher assistants, operational supplies for facilities, and a state maintenance licensing incentive. In addition, the county will be adding an additional 10 mental health workers and 5 social workers in their budget for us as well. And facilities for maintenance, we're going to ask for $16.2 million for transportation, $285,000 for technology, $3.6 million, which includes the teacher and admin laptops for another year, and the 6 through 12 laptops for another year, and year 1 of a projection refresh or smart boards or whatever we're calling it. And the $50,000 we had last year for band uniforms and equipment, this year it will go to Forest Hills High School. And I think that is it. So there was only 1 change. because it is not coming out of finance because of the late change to it. We need a motion to approve the amended budget and send it to the county commission. Oh, I so move.
Second.
Okay, do any of the board members that weren't in the finance meeting have any comments, questions for the finance committee?
Well, I would just like to offer a quick comment that this would be the third consecutive budget request that does not ask the taxpayers of Union County for a tax increase at all. Your money's being well spent. We have an efficient operation running what I believe is truly the best school system in the state of North Carolina.
Any other comments, questions? Thank you, Mr. Sides. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, we will now have policies for review.
Yes, good evening, members of the board. Before you tonight, you have 6 policies for your review and 3 administrative guidelines. Just as a reminder, the administrative guidelines are only come before the board this one time for review and then are implemented. And I'm available for any questions about any of the policies or administrative guidelines. Thank you.
And that brings us to closed session decisions.
Madam Chairman, it's my pleasure. I'd like to make a motion to approve the closed session decision, to extend the contract of Dr. Andrew Houlihan by 3 years for a term ending June 30th, 2023. I was lucky enough to play a part in hiring him, so I guess I need to play a part in keeping him.
Thank you for that motion. Okay, board, any comments? Or I would like to say that I too played a part in bringing Dr. Houlihan here along with Mrs. Helms and the rest of the board here supporting Dr. Houlihan. And by state statute, we are allowed to have a superintendent contract with 4 years. And so his current contract has 1 year remaining. So the maximum that the board is allowed to vote on is to give him up to 3 years. And I'm very pleased that the board has made a motion, a board member has made a motion to give the maximum that we are allowed, 3 years. So any other comments or questions from board members? Okay. All those in favor say aye. 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 All those opposed? 2. So the motion passes 7-2.
Another closed session decision. I move that we approve the closed session decision regarding the ADA bids.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 I would like to thank the Sun Valley High School English Honors 2 class that I went on a field trip today to the Jewish Community Center to learn about the Holocaust. It was a really great program. The kids were amazed by it all, had some great questions, and we had a really nice trip. They were very well behaved, so thank you. Shout out to them.
Okay, and with this being Teacher Appreciation, I would like to say a very special thank you to all of our teachers in Union County Public Schools. When I was posting this on my Facebook yesterday, I made the comment that Union County Public School teachers truly set the bar for the entire state. And I know this board and myself, we are so honored to play a very small part in what our teachers do day in and day out, and how much we appreciate the caliber of teachers that we have. So I challenge everyone here and listening at home to shower your teachers with lots of love and gratitude and trinkets of appreciation. And we recently had our Teacher of the Year banquet, and I believe I commented then a popular saying that teaching is the one profession that creates all other professions. And you may or may not be aware, but the Parlier family and the Riley family are both educator families. Their moms are educators. So now we can say that not only do teachers create all other professions, now we know that teachers make heroes. And so with that being said, that will be my final comment for tonight. Are there any announcements?
Madam Chairman, I would just like to, quick comment. I would like to echo your comments, and I'd particularly like to thank the teachers that appeared at tonight's meeting. I encourage any teachers at any time to either come to the meeting in person. If not, because I know it's a school night, you're welcome. Of course, these are shown on our YouTube channel. So I encourage all UCPS staff to question the decisions made by this board, to ask why or why not things are not happening, offer suggestions, what have you. As a son of two educators, and 2 out of 3 of my sisters are educators. Well, one's now retired, it's hard, but I only secondhand can appreciate the day-to-day work you do. But I want to thank everyone and keep up the good work, and thank you for all you do.
For announcements, I'd like to announce that the SPIT Committee, the Strategic Plan Transportation Technology Committee, will be meeting on May 22nd at 7:30 in the morning here at the PDC.
Facilities Committee will be meeting on May 23rd at 8:30 a.m. at the PDC, and the Finance Committee doesn't know yet when our finance will be. It'll depend on the county commissioners coming back on our budget.
And the Curriculum Committee will meet May 30th at 8:30 in this very room.
And the Policy Committee, we have not settled on a date, so we'll come back with that date and time. Okay. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, board members.